Hey, Doc, wanted to ask you about the pick and roll defense tonight against Jokic and Murray. You guys held them to combined 27 points, and just the job you guys did against them.
Yeah, I thought we cluttered it up a little bit. First quarter defense was not good, but then from that point on, I thought we really locked in. Got into the ball, blew up a couple of their handoffs, but they're just so difficult, honestly. We'll take the effort tonight for sure.
You're next. Go ahead.
Hey, Doc, this is being your first postseason with Kawhi. What do you see in him? I mean, he's like, I think today he joined Michael Jordan as having, since the merger, the only guys to score at least 29 points in their first 7 playoff games of a postseason.
Just efficient. He puts the work in, though. There's very few guys that outwork him, so he puts it in. And so when the game starts, he can withdraw, and so he does put a lot of work in. But he's very efficient. I've been very impressed with how he can get it through your offense, He's been great for us.
Dan Wilkie, you're next. Go ahead.
Hey, Doc, it must be nice to answer questions about Kawhi and Michael Jordan and not spend $50,000.
Yeah. Very, very well said.
Pat Beverly played 12 minutes, but what is it just about sort of his aura or presence that seems to do something different to your team?
It gives us energy. We're not a particularly loud team on the floor defensively. Pat is, in a lot of ways, with that starting lineup, he's a defensive captain with his voice. He calls out coverages. He holds everybody responsible. And to have that voice to start games is just invaluable. And then what it does, it just leaks over to the rest of the team. So when you see him playing like that and talking like that on defense, it helps the entire team.
Doc, people, when they talk about Pat, almost exclusively talk about his defense, but this is a guy who shoots 38 to 40% from three every year. Stepped into 2 right away for you guys tonight. Yeah. Were those tone-setting shots a little bit?
Those were great, very much so, because he hadn't played. But I think people forget about his offense. He's a terrific, especially corner shooter, and he knows that, and he gets to those spots. So, good for him.
Thank you, Dan. Just a quick note, Marcus Morris is up on the secondary Zoom link. Next up here for you, Doc, is Sandro. Go ahead, Sandro.
Hey, Doc. Speaking of Marcus, what are your thoughts on his performance tonight?
It was terrific. And that, I think, will get lost in his offense. But, man, I tell you, defensively and his passing and his spacing and being in the right place, he was a pro's pro tonight. Just very efficient. He played such an intelligent basketball game. It was great to see.
Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Doc, after you guys wrapped up that first round, you'd mentioned that you felt like just kind of collectively the intensity was a little slow to wake up in that first round.
Yeah.
Was that something you revisited in the last 2 or 3 days with your guys about getting off to a faster start?
Well, just getting off to a playoff start, Andrew, like you're in the playoffs. And, I didn't think we'd join it until like game 4. But now we're here and we're playing well. We're playing hard. That's what I saw tonight. We're going to make mistakes, but when you play hard, you can cover up for them. And I thought we did that tonight.
Shane Young, go ahead. You're next.
Hey, Doc. Just wondering, what'd you think of Montrez's stretch in that second half there? And do you think this is a matchup tailor-made for him to really get going?
I don't know if any matchup is tailor-made for anyone. But, listen, Trez was gone for 30 days, right? And so he's still just starting to round in, and you can finally see it coming. And so to get him in now, the playoffs, will be huge for us moving forward.
Last one, we're going to go to Mark Medina. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Doc. You mentioned about playing hard. What helps spark that when you look at that, not just tonight, but
I think there's just a different intensity to the playoffs because you're going to play the same team. They're overly prepared for you. And so the little things stand out. One mistake will cost you a basket. One mistake will cause a turnover. You run it right, you'll get a basket or a shot. And if you don't execute, it's going to hurt you. And part of that is intensity. and focus. And, you know, you have to have that on every single play. And I don't think we understood that early on. I think we do now.